I wanted just to give another little update of Le Petit Puck. And the first one you can kind of see right here in front of you. These are instructions. I'd be the first person to tell you that they're not the greatest. They're not perfect, and they're not even really complete yet. But it is sort of, I think, in addition to it being such a simple game to play anyway. Uh, I basically have given up trying to do the full challenge of getting it onto a single card. I'd still like to actually print some Korean business cards with Le Petit Puck on it. I think that would be kind of fun. But yeah, I've made a couple basically similar to I don't know, that annoying bit of Apple software or whatever that you have that updates itself every time that it turns on the phone, that you turn on your phone. I'm going to just probably keep updating this simple little game from time to time. In addition to also, because one of the things that I have noted here that I wanted to remember to mention is that in addition to also working on some other games that are going to be kind of basically, I've already begun experimenting with other dice, more dice, and also just more complexity. And I'm working towards actually building this simple little core engine out and building it either reverse or sideways engineering my way back to some of my previous game designs, some of my half finished games over the course of off and on over the course of the last 4 years or so that I've been doing that. So yeah, I've again these are, I guess, preliminary instructions. And in this video and in all the other videos for this game, I will have links both to this here because I had to do this in Google Docs. Really, that's what happened. Google Sheets, I couldn't, I don't know. Again, I don't know what Matt did, but I don't know. I can't get the instructions. Even if I reduce the font size and everything, I can't get them into a sheet. So, well, he probably didn't use Google Sheets is the reason why. But anyway, so here they are. There's basically a codes and also some step by step. And another thing that I'm going to do, I don't have it done yet, but the plan later today to add to and upgrade. And so this should be available within a few hours, probably not even that long after I get this video uploaded. I'm going to make a table and I'm going to show the plus advantages, like the plus and minus advantages. Let's see, this is not the most recent one, of course. So if you go to the Google Sheets Drive link right now, you should see one that looks a little bit more like this. If I hold that up more closely, you can see the power play and shorthanded. They're a little more separated now. I could have gone, and I actually did put PPSH there, and I looked at it and I didn't like it as much. I like the look of it better like this. So kind of a practical decision there. And I've changed this here, and I explained this in the rules, but P2S3, at least in the codes, I've explained this. So now there's going to be more chances if you're on the power play. The power play is going to be a little, I don't know, spicier since it's only one dice roll. There's still shorthanded chance with a roll of 6, and there can only be a possible penalty now with a roll of 5, for which I must give big thanks to William for making the suggestion to do this. William, I hope you don't mind me using your name. It is in your username, and I just thought this was a great suggestion. I played one game with it yesterday, and it was kind of a strange game, actually, but it had absolutely nothing to do with this or any other changes that I made. It was just, again, I was a little tired for it. But the P2S3, I'll say it here too. What it stands for is if you roll a 5 on a power play, you do a follow-up roll similar to what you do here. And I reverse the order, so this is showing like the higher, better, greater line. And then the home line, if the two lines are even, they get a chance from 1 to 4. And then it's either the lower ranked line or the visitor that gets a chance with a roll of 5 or 6, which is also in these instructions as well. It's written there. But here it's if you on the follow-up roll, if you roll 1 or 2, then it means a penalty the next shift to the power play unit. But if you roll a 3 or greater, like a 3 to 6, then it's going to be a penalty for the shorthanded team. They'll be in the box again. It will not be a 5-on-3. They will just be in the box again for the following 2 minutes, because again, it is a simple game. I do want to get through the period in a set number of shifts, like in a set limited amount of time, with the exception, of course, of the timeout. And I like this little nuance, this little bending the rules. I'm not going to change it. Basically, what it allows is for the third period, you could have 9 or possibly even 10 shifts, which when you think about it, the periods are slowed down. As this follows the doc model, sometimes I actually do 10 shifts, especially for a season replay. If the scoring's a little low, I do 10 shifts in the third period anyway to sort of bring it up to its average. I've done that and experimented with that before. So other than that, allow me just to again to go through the messy notes that I made yesterday here. Something about, yeah, this, think of it like the software update. I will continue just updating this from time to time, so feel free to check back to the Google Sheets link or the Google Docs link in Google Drive, and you'd be able to get the most recent version of this or of the instructions. And yeah, building it towards other games. I've already, since putting this up and out, I've already begun offline sketching out things in a notebook, coming up with essentially the kind of more complex versions of this, slash also again reaching out and branching into some other games that I've been working on before in the past that maybe I was just having some little stumbling blocks trying to get over. So sorry about any annoyance for these constant updates, but it is, again, after all, it is a free game. So hopefully, I don't know. Hopefully you will bear with me, I guess. And it's just, again, this is on one page. This is on one page. Another plan actually for the future would be to, because this, I mean, even though I really wanted to make the game as small as possible, it need not be a small game. I could make a bigger footprint and actually just put it on an 8.5 by 11 page and blow it up. But again, it is a pretty simple game, so you don't really need that space. But that's another plan in the short term that I do have with this. And other than that, I think it is pretty much complete. Let's just say, which. Is I'm glad. I mean, that's doing good for me, uh, because as it is such a simple game, there isn't really a whole lot else that I can do with it anyway. So I just wanted to get that update out there and just show that yes, I do have. Admittedly, these are not the greatest instructions. It's shame on me that maybe I'm going to blame it on the fact that it is such a simple game. I don't really, just to be quite honest, it's not that I haven't tried, but for whatever stupid reason, I don't feel as motivated to make these as um, I don't know, concise, or just as maybe it's not quite what they could be. I'll continue to pick and poke away and work at them. I just again, I guess following some advice with some people, some creative people, advice that even recently, some advice that doesn't even necessarily have anything to do with creating games like this. Sometimes you just have to get your content up and out, and then you can go back and fix it and modify it and update it later. I think it's the age that we're in, and you see that all the time. Again, software is released and then there's like a patch for it. I know this isn't software, but it's kind of the same idea. Anyway, this need not be 8 minutes long, so bye for now.